Hector Gomez throwing this out there a day or two ago about Marcell Ozuna, who I'm sure is on the trade block, and there are discussions. He said talks between the Padres and the Braves have intensified. The Padres are very interested in landing Marcell Ozuna. According to the source, the Braves would receive, he even gave the two names, Francis Pena and Ryan Bergert, two of their prospects. The Padres do need some thump. Their offense has not been good for a while, and they need more pop to keep this thing going. Michael King, I would hope, is back in August for them, which would be a huge addition to the starting staff. But wait, there's more. Mark Bowman, who works for MLB, gives us this on his beat. According to my sources, the Braves and Padres haven't had any discussions of any kind about Marcell Ozuna. Tail of the tape. What do you got for us?
We got conflicting reports here. This is a battle here. I want them to start going back and forth so we can figure out who's in the right, who's in the wrong. Yeah, I mean, they do need a little thump, of course. They're a really good team. I want to see this Padre team in the playoffs, Grazzi. I really enjoy the way they play. I think King is a big piece of this. If they could get a guy like Ozuna for their 18th and 21st prospect, I would take that in a heartbeat. 18th, 21st, I don't go. The numbers are ridiculous. Are you going to play or not? So for me, unreliable sources. What do we got, Kratz? That's a big problem. So we'll see.
I think the source is probably reliable.
Which one?
I would say it's more of they're just going back to double check it. They're going back to see if the guy that they talk to is the guy that's really in the know or if he's not in the know. So to me, though, Marcell Ozuna's kind of had a down year. Will he be a monster pickup for the last 2 months of the year? I don't know. To me, kind of a crapshoot. 18th and 20th prospect. Sorry to those guys, but that's not really that big a haul. So other teams might just be – somebody just might have fished that out there to see if other teams are willing to give up their 18th and 21st prospect. So some of this is gamesmanship. Hey, I'll leak this to Todd Frazier because Todd Frazier's got diarrhea of the mouth and he'll tell anybody anything.
Never.
And it's not really something.
Never.
John Mozeliak, who has been running the Cardinals front office for a long time, is finishing up in that role. He'll still be part of the organization, but this one's interesting. I don't think we're talking enough about the Cardinals, Kratz, because now that they're starting to sink, they do have assets to sell at the trade deadline. It is a seller's market, and you have someone running a team only for a few more months, having conversations with veteran players about waiving no trade clauses. Nolan Arenado, Sonny Gray, and Willson Contreras all have no trade clauses. Do you think that any of them will move? And I'll give you some context here. Mo said he intends to get a good understanding of Arenado's no trade preferences leading up to the deadline. Remember, in the offseason, they had him dealt to Houston and he took it back. So they would like to have the communication down before they do hours and hours of work. That's fair. He said, quote, I'll talk to Arenado about the no trade clause. He hadn't as of this last quote when he spoke publicly, but said that's something he's going to have a good understanding of as they enter the final week here before the deadline. He said, right now, I would envision him being part of this in the future, but if something were to pop up, I would definitely discuss it with him. Thoughts?
I mean, I think he's there. So you have so many different layers with different things. Nolan Arenado specifically, we've already talked about Eugenio Suarez. We talked about Ryan McMahon, guys that are going to make impacts in lineups. Arenado is definitely a third place in the impact in the lineup in the sense that he could be better than McMahon. McMahon's having a down year. So you're getting maybe a player in McMahon who's going to cost you less monetarily wise, but you're getting, maybe a little bit weaker offense and definitely weaker defense. To me, you talk about Arenado's defense. Do you want, because his offense is going to be a crapshoot. He started out April and part of May, he was killing it. Now he's kind of fallen back to rate just below average OPS plus for the season. Are you going to say, we'll take all of Arenado and the fact that the Cardinals were going to buy down a lot of his contract to get a prospect and take his defense and install it at third on a team that doesn't have very much defense? Yankees. Or are you going to go Ke'Bryan Hayes where the offensive ceiling is capped and it's not going to be there? So to me, their defense, I still think Arenado is better. So After all these teams miss out on Eugenio Suarez, miss out on Ryan McMahon, or he's not available, they're going to get a lot of chatter from Nolan Arenado. And I think Nolan Arenado will have extreme success if he goes to the Yankees, because he's been in two organizations that are behind analytically, in the Rockies and the Cardinals. And then once he goes to the Yankees, because some of his teammates have gone there and known what the Yankees know and how to help fix those things, to me, Arenado gets the most play out of all of these guys, and I think he might be a dark horse.
Todd, do you think he gets dealt?
I think he does. I think he will to a certain team. And, you know, his no trade clause, it's difficult to really get traded. But if it was a team in contention that was guaranteed a playoff spot, I think he definitely would. Remember we were talking about, he's going to go here and there, like it was a definite he was going to go. Like those are the times where guys really don't go. I feel like it's kind of been slow played a little bit, where maybe something might pop up, you know, early in trade rumors, and once the time comes in August here. So we'll see. We'll see. I would love to see him go to a team that's in contention, to see him in the playoffs a little bit more.
Yeah, me too. I agree with you. I do think there are certain teams he just won't jump to. I don't know which teams those are, but if we go back,
one of them.
Well, right. I mean, he said he would consider it, but maybe he was just being nice. Houston's a good point. There's 4 or 5 other teams that are interested in a third baseman, right? Would he go to Detroit? Would he go to Milwaukee? Kratz is mentioning New York, but I don't know if the Yanks want him. Would he go to Chicago? Cubs, not White Sox.
Who knows what his desire is? Is it location? Does he only want to go to the West Coast? Is it tax purposes? Does the next team have to say, hey, we'll add this X to your contract to be able to cover the tax part of it? Who knows? Who knows what that is? Or maybe he's like, I kind of like it here in St. Louis. The fans like me for the most part, and I'll finish out here because I'm comfortable, or we'll talk about it in the offseason. I don't know. It's too much speculation for me. I think he can help any of those teams that we have talked about all day today. This was Third Base Thursday with the Todd.